Welcome back again, joshuabergercarpentry.com, the tool test. So here we have Exhibit A, the Fein 18 volt. I think it's ASCM 18Q or something along those lines, but all details will be at the bottom of the video. So I thought I'd try to drive in a few screws. First of all, let's try the ridiculous. I've got it in 4th speed, so the highest speed, like I said to you, 3,850 RPMs. I'm going to drive in a 6-inch screw into scaffold boards which have been joined together so they can't splay apart. Yes, it's ridiculous. Why would you try to drive in a screw at this speed? You wouldn't, but I'm just doing it for this test. This isn't something I do every day. I just want to see if it works. So let's have a look. As we can see, start it off nice. There we are. Let's just run it in. I'll hold it because I'm under the side support. Right. As you can see, it drives it in 4th speed pretty fast. We'll try and remove it again. No, it doesn't like it. Right, okay, so this is part of the brain again. It's not allowing me to do it, it's thinking for me, which sometimes I don't really want in my tools. I like them to obey me, not to think. Right, so we'll have to drop it down into 3rd speed to try and remove the screw. Let's have a go again. 3rd speed is 1950 RPM, which is still 150 RPM faster than my Makita. Actually, it's 250 RPM faster than my Makita. Wow, okay. As you can see, it had absolutely no problem removing this. Just a little comparison to see how my Makita does. This is old favourite from 2005. We're now in 2015, so 10 years old. 3-speed. I think the highest torque on this is 80 Newton meters of torque. That's in gear 1. We're running in gear 3. Let's have a look at this, see how it does. Start it off, drive it in. It's suffering. No, it doesn't want to do that. Let's remove the screw in gear 1. Right, so as we can see already, the Fein is pretty fine, isn't it? So let's try something else, a little bit more challenging, maybe drop the speed down a bit. So I'm going to remove this bit here, the PZ3 fitting that I've got in at the moment. I'm now putting a star head fitting, which is a TX40, and we're going to use some of these Spax, pretty beastie screws. These are 140mm long. We're now going to still run this in speed 3, see how it copes with speed 3 on these kind of Spax screws. Right. One thing I have to say that I've noticed about this drill, which I don't entirely like, is there's a slight delay when you squeeze the trigger to the response, versus this one, it's more instant. Here we are. Whereas this one, the slight lag. It's because it's that brain again. It's thinking about stuff versus doing stuff. So let's try this one. Right, speed 3. Let's try driving this Spax in, see how we do. Right, 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay. So drove it in rather nicely. Let's try in speed 2. As you can see, this gear change in this thing is great. It's probably the best gear change system I've ever used. Let's try removing the Spax. Speed 2. It's still pretty fast, isn't it? Even in speed 2. What revolutions are we in speed 2? So 800, which compared to the Makita in speed 2, the Makita is at 600 RPM. So that would explain the extra speed. So let's drive this in again in speed 2. As you can see, the torque setting, it switches itself off. I'm pressing the trigger and it's yet again thinking for me. Won't allow me to go any further. Let's go into gear 1 for super torque. This drill claims it has 90 Newton meters of torque, which I believe at the moment is the highest torque on the market. Let's try removing this in gear 1. Right, pretty much effortless. Let's drive another one in just for fun. Driving this Spax 140mm screw into scaffold boards in speed 1. Right, okay, this thing's excellent. So the torque on it is lovely, it's great. If we don't want to use this bit, I haven't really got onto the chuck, so this bit easily removes by just putting this sleeve, comes off, and then we can put the chuck in. Other people have criticised this for having a plastic outside chuck. It really doesn't really bother me as long as the thing works. This Makita has got a plastic chuck and it's served me well for 10 years, so I'm not entirely bothered about that. What is a nice feature about this chuck is there's a ratchet on it so it won't loosen, and also the jaws are carbide coated, so it's nice and tough and makes purchase to whatever you put in there. Something that I did notice the other week when I was using this, I was drilling lots of holes for hinges, for Blum hinges, which can be quite demanding on a drill. I drilled 70 to be precise. This thing managed to do, I think, 40 hinge cuts before I had to change the battery. This does get surprisingly hot. This metal kind of, there we are, this metal collar around here, which I didn't expect it to happen. I think it's because actually the motor is probably somewhere in there, according to the schematics of the thing. The fan is there, but I think it blows it through here or blows it over the top. Hopefully it's not the gears getting this hot, it's the motor. But yes, so that's what we have. The only thing about this, which I've thought about, sometimes if you're pushing on this, you're gonna almost block the actual inlet for the air on the brushes. Although actually, if you do that, you know, you have to think about it. You know, bear that in mind slightly, hold it in a way that doesn't block all the fins. But that's just, you know, getting used to a new tool. What else to say? Right, we're still on 4 bars of power, which is a nice thing to see. I've also noticed on this drill that it drops from 4 to 3 to 2 quite quickly, but it seems to stay in 2 for a lot longer than it stays at 4. What else is there to say? The charge is quite nice. I have to say that I actually quite like the box. The box is pretty nice, you know, it's got that hardened kind of polystyrene that I think they use in bike helmets. It shuts like so, solid, good clips. The handle's quite nice, the way it interlocks into those fins. Overall, I'm very happy with this drill. I've only had it a couple of weeks, well, a week if that. We'll see, really. It's the true test is the test of time. Like I said, I've had this drill since, well, for about 8 years. It's still going strong, solid. The only way we'll find out is the test of time, and maybe in a few more videos we can find out how it's all doing. Thanks again for watching this video. Welcome back and goodbye to JoshuaBurgerCarpentry.com. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks again.